Hi everybody, I'm Chef Frank and this is Proto Cooks, and today we're making pasta fagioli, or as we say on Long Island, pasta fazool. It's one of those things that I eat pretty much once a week. It's a hearty dish, it's a one-pot meal, it's Italian peasant food. It is not a lot of complicated ingredients, it's a fairly easy recipe to do, and you might even have these ingredients in your pantry. So let's look at what we got and cook. Here are the ingredients for my pasta fagioli. I have tomato paste, cannellini beans, or just white large kidney beans in the juice. Keep the juice. Like 6 cloves of garlic, olive oil. Doesn't need to be extra virgin. I just have some plain 100% olive oil. About a half a pound of dry pasta. This should not be egg pasta. Salt, kosher salt, and black pepper. There's a few things that I wanted to talk about before we started cooking, and it's my tomato paste and my pasta. The tomato paste I have here is out of a can, and it's about a half a can of just whatever commercial tomato paste you can get. This tomato paste is something a little more special. Growing up, we made our own wine, we cured our own sausage, and we used to make this tomato paste, and I've never seen it before. If any of you have seen this before, please send me a message, but I've never seen it. And basically, this is a labor of love. You do it at the end of summer, in September, late August, September. And what we do is we get whole tomatoes, plum tomatoes, we cook them down with some salt, strain the skins and the seed out, and then we dry it in the oven until it's like this brick red or brownie looking color. And this is the tomato paste my family has used for pasta fagioli throughout my whole life. And this is the last piece I have. I'm not using this today. I wanted to do pantry items rather than specialty items. So if anyone's ever seen tomato paste like this, I would love to hear from you. But this is a family kind of tradition that we do. And we only make it like once a year, once every 2 years. And now that everyone's kind of got families to take care of, we make it even less. So this is something super rare. The other thing is the pasta. And I don't know if you noticed, but I have a few different types of pasta. I have some little rigatoni, some salentini, and I have some thin spaghetti, right? And this dish was one of the dishes that my father ate and his grandfather and grandparents ate. And his grandparents owned a grocery store in Brooklyn. And they would use all the leftover pasta. Pasta was not sold in boxes, it was sold in bins, and they would take the pasta out and they'd use whatever pasta was left over for this dish. So just kind of as a tradition or just how we make it, there's always 2 or 3 different types of pasta. And I break spaghetti. This is the only time I'll ever break spaghetti unless I'm making this or fideos. But I have thin spaghetti. I'm gonna break it in there because I want this to fit on the spoon. But we've always used different types of pasta in this. And it's a good way to use up leftover pasta. Say you only use a half a pound at a time, it's a great way to use that. So special tomato paste, special pasta, and then I have some garlic. And all I really do with the garlic is I have some cloves that are peeled already. Give it a little whack. Pull off the skin. And I'm not too crazy about how I chop this. I take that little root end off. And I don't process the garlic a lot. What's funny about this is my grandmother, who was first generation American, her family was from Italy. She did not like garlic, at least not to eat garlic. She would take the garlic, cook it in the oil, and then take it out and put it on the side. And as kids, we would eat it. And for the most part, she didn't like the strength of garlic. So she liked the flavor, but not to actually have to eat it. And we just chop that garlic, kind of rough chop. And let's go over to the stove and make this. We're at the stove. I have all my ingredients ready to go. My pot is on a medium heat. Let's cook. First thing I'm going to do is add my olive oil. Make sure you get it all in there. And then I'm going to add my chopped garlic. And I'm going to let my garlic just toast a little. I don't necessarily need it to be super brown, but I have some big pieces, I have some smaller pieces. And once those smaller pieces start to toast, I'm going to add my tomato paste. And the idea here is to take this tomato paste and just fry it in the oil a little, right? Just to get a little color on it. So this is starting to get a little bit of brown in my smaller pieces. Get my tomato paste in there. And I'm going to just fry it around. Turn my heat down a little. But you can see like now it's sticking to the bottom a little. That's okay. Just keep moving it around. But I'm just going to break it up so that it absorbs some of the oil until my tomato paste gets a little fragrant and starts to just lightly brown. Let it fry for 2 or 3 minutes. You'll smell it. The tomato paste will kind of take on a little bit of a roasty smell to it. And now I'm going to add water. Just plain water. So I probably have about 8 cups of water there. And my beans with all the juice. Okay? And all I'm going to do now is wait for this to come to a boil. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of salt. Well, a fair amount of salt and some black pepper. And let this come to a boil. So now that my mixture is boiling, I'm going to add my pasta. But the first thing I want to do before I do that is give it a taste. It's good. The salt is good. The seasoning is good. That's important because my pasta really doesn't have any salt in it. And whatever seasoning is in here now, actually I probably need another pinch of salt. And maybe just a little black pepper. I thought it was good, but second thought, I'm just going to go with it. Make sure this is boiling and then we add our pasta. The pasta is going to soak up the liquid and get seasoned. So just like you would with regular pasta water, you want this to be seasoned fairly well. Okay, so not necessarily sea salty, but saltier than you think it would be when you were eating it. Okay, I let it boil and then I let the pasta cook for about 10 minutes and then we're going to serve it up. So here's my finished dish. It cooked about 10 minutes, simmered away. This dish can be eaten so many different ways. I like mine brothy like this. This is super brothy. After it sits for a while, the pasta starts to soak up the liquid. Some people like it drier, but I definitely like mine brothy. Okay, I made a mess there. My grandmother, the next day, if there was any left over, she would fry this in a pan with some olive oil and it would get crispy. The pasta would kind of be a little overcooked and kind of probably like a little too cooked and blown up. But that's something I loved about this dish. It was so versatile. My kids love this. It's a comfort food for them, which makes me so happy. My wife loves it. She's Irish, you know. I like to put a little bit of pepperoncino or chili flakes and a little pecorino romano cheese on this as a flourish. I realize this might not be the way that your family makes it. I know every Italian grandma and every Italian family probably has something a little different in the ways of pasta fagioli and how they eat it. But this is just the way that we do it. And I want to hear how your family makes it. So send me some comments. I want to hear how you guys do it. This is just how we do it. It's super simple. It's a one-pot meal. There's not a lot of ingredients. You might even have them in your pantry. And it's really cheap. So if you are a college student, it's a one-pot meal. If you live by yourself, it's a one-pot meal that you can make and you can use as leftovers. So let's give it a taste. I know it's going to be really hot. I'm going to taste my soup, my broth. The cheese really adds something to it, okay? It's delicious. Again, super simple, not complicated. I'm Chef Frank. This is Proto Cooks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I have a lot of videos coming out soon. Thanks for your support. Have a good night.